On today's episode of Montage, we're in San Francisco checking out some of the people and places that make the city by the bay such an intriguing spot. First, we head to Asia SF for good eats and spicy entertainment, followed by a sit-down with one-time San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown on the past, present, and future of the great city. Next, we visit the folks at Lava Mae, an organization helping those in need one shower at a time. And finally, we meet Athena Palumbi to discuss the multi-talented beauty's recipe for success. It's all right now on Montage. If your next celebration calls for a dinner locale where the spice isn't confined only to your plate, Asia SF may be just the ticket.
My name is Ronnie Reddick, and I am the show director and choreographer here at Asia SF. And I'm here with Naya, one of the performers of Asia SF.
This San Francisco entertainment landmark that opened its doors in 1998 is not your usual dinner and a show.
The experience when you come into Asia SF is unique like no other place in the world, because it is definitely food, it is drink, it is entertainment, it kind of feasts all your senses. The owners actually designed it so that there aren't any windows upstairs, so that once you come into our world, then you're kind of transported into something magical. When the lights go out and the announcement happens, people go berserk. I mean, it is what they've been waiting for, and so when it happens, it's pretty cool. I mean, so it's something you have to see to experience. It's hard to put into words, but once the lights go out, and depending on which girl is performing, it's magical.
Celebrate diversity with a full evening of fabulous food, drinks, and the unforgettable charm of the ladies of Asia SF. Every evening, these transgender beauties are true stars of the runway.
Depending on what night you're here, you get at least 2 shows a night. And the last show of the evening is called our Blowout Show, which all the ladies participate in, which is pretty spectacular.
It's very unique because I don't think a lot of restaurants have like their own sound system and lighting system as well. And our showrunner is really good with everything. I mean, it's a show. You have to be on point. It's like, if I'm on this certain angle, I need to be lit a certain way. And it's just that little thing that people don't actually notice but makes a huge difference.
Be selective on where you sit, or you may get an unexpected surprise.
You sit at the end of the bar, and the ladies have access to you.
No matter if you want it or not.
Yeah, you're gonna get it. So we have a hot seat.
Yeah, it's all good and fun though.
Yeah.
Enjoy the restaurant and lounge, and later move downstairs and groove the night away with the ladies in Asia SF's exclusive dance club.
Downstairs is a whole nother experience. Because we do a lot of bachelorette parties, we actually have kind of a separate booking. You can actually book a bachelorette party here at Asia SF, have dinner upstairs, be entertained, and come down afterwards, bring your party, the entire party down, and also be entertained. So the ladies of Asia will come down and do private shows for the guests downstairs. Well, private in the sense that it is booked by the bachelorette party. If you're lucky enough to be downstairs, then you can see the show. But it is part of the package. And it is kind of a separate thing, and it's a little wilder because now you're on your feet, and there's music, and it's a club atmosphere, and there's drinks, so it's a wild time downstairs. It's not as contained or controlled as upstairs.
You definitely get a little more risque.
You can get crazy downstairs.
You won't want to leave the warm and excited atmosphere of this wild venue. Hosting parties, reunions, and anniversaries, this is the supreme San Francisco experience.
Everybody is always celebrating something when they come here. I mean, some people just come just because they've heard of it, but we're really big on like large parties, bachelorette parties, birthday parties, divorce parties, like any kind of party.
Celebrating life.
Any celebration.
Yeah.
So we like to make our customers feel like they're stars as well. Like, we're not the only stars here, you're stars for being here. And I think people really appreciate that.
We'd like to invite you guys to come take a peek at some of the stuff that we do. We are working on a couple of new pieces, and maybe with Naya, I can kind of show you just some of the beginning stages of us working on a new routine. A lot of people say or try to compare it to drag. It's not drag at all. Transgender women are completely different than drag. Drag is a man in a dress, and men in dresses don't work here. So it's a very unique experience, and it's an education, I think. The restaurant kind of gives you a peek into a world of humanity. I mean, it is really part of our humanity. It is just another shade of gray. And so I think the world is ready to be part of, and to experience it, and to actually embrace, I guess, a new way of, a new lifestyle, a new culture, basically.
On its way to having greeted 1 million guests into its electric scene, Asia SF is the hottest place to be when the sun sets on the city by the bay.
This town is so not, in my opinion, appropriately laid out. For an example, I would put a hotel in the middle of the performing arts area. I'd put a hotel somewhere near where the Conservatory of Music is,
Right.
the Jazz Center is, the Opera House, the Symphony Hall.
Right.
There's no hotel over there.
Boy, that would have been a great idea.
But it still is
Yeah.
possible. I would have a first-class hotel, which is where the performers. That's
The opera
the
stars.
way it is in New York, the way it was in
Yeah.
it is in
Yeah.
New York.
Wow, that would give a big.
You've got to have a place. So they should not have to travel all the way up to the Fairmount. They ought to be able to walk to rehearsal
Right.
and walk back. So you need in the Civic Center area a first-class performers hotel. And when people come to this town, they would think that if they want to see the performers,
Right.
and they want to walk to the theater,
Yeah.
and there are enough restaurants over there now.
Right, and there
that
would be
cons-
more if that hotel was
overnight.
Yeah.
That is correct. You know, in the city undergoing all these changes, what we've lost though, Wilkes, is the football team.
Yeah.
We lost the
Wow.
49ers football team, and we lost that to Santa Clara.
Right.
Now, on the other hand, when you talk about South of Market, one of the other reasons the South of Market is so incredible is because of Mission Bay, the hospital that's down there, the research institute that's down there. But in the meantime, when we gained the opportunity for the Warriors to play in San Francisco and in Mission Bay, suddenly we lose the 49ers. Suddenly, what was Candlestick, what was the original baseball stadium, we put a new baseball stadium. But it turns out that it is a great addition. It's almost like the stadium has always been there. The Giants baseball stadium looks like it's an old component of South of Market and a part of what we're about in the entranceway to what we consider to be Mission Bay. But that's where the ballpark was. That's where Willie Mays performed. And to now have that gone and to have no football team in this town is a true loss.
So many of the things that came into fruition that are so prized in the city started during your administration.
In this town, the late George Moscone said to me when he had been serving for mayor for 2 or 3 years, which is the only reason I was interested in being mayor, he said it's like having your own playground. If you're the mayor in this city, you really can do things and you really can enjoy doing things and people appreciate it. You don't have to
If you have
conceal.
the vision.
Yeah. You don't have to conceal who you are, what you're about. Or, you know, you can hang in the restaurants.
Yeah.
You can do the things that need to be done. And that's the only thing that enticed me. You know, well, it's really interesting that at one time your store was the cornerstone and the linchpin for many of these designers. I think back.
In the 70s.
Yeah, in the 70s. You think back, no one had ever heard of Messina. No one had ever really heard of Ralph Lauren. No one had ever heard of Brioni. No one had ever heard of Keaton. No one, as a matter of fact, well, no one had ever heard of Versace.
Not to be immodest, but even Giorgio Armani, when we first brought him in 1973, wasn't a household name yet.
No, none of those people.
Right.
Your store was the window. And by the way, it was the San Francisco window.
Jim Georgides and I went to Italy.
The late Jim Georgides.
The late Georgides, who was incredible. And we went to Italy and we met these people, we worked with them, and we brought them to San Francisco. And they were so excited to be part of the scene in San Francisco. And it'll never happen again. But back in the 70s, you could do that. Today, with the proliferation of stores and designers and so forth, you can't do it. But we had a run of probably 8 to 10 years of exclusivity with many of these designers.
And then no question. Before they start thinking about expanding beyond your store.
Right.
Your store was where you'd have to go if you wanted Giorgio Armani. Your store would have to go if you wanted Keaton.
Right, it was headquarters.
It was headquartered. As a matter of fact, nobody else had Keaton in this city.
Correct.
Nobody else had Keaton
Correct.
in this city.
Yeah.
And Neiman's nor Saks had even thought of doing men's stuff. If you remember, both Saks and Neiman's were women wear. They didn't do men's wear. And nobody did serious men's wear except the specialty store in other towns, Sidney Koshak and people like that did it. But in San Francisco, it was strictly Wilkes Bashford.
You know, Willie, I don't know who's picking up this lunch check today, but I hope it's you. So before you...
Why did you touch my cup?
To make sure that...
That's bad luck if you touch my cup.
No, I
Will.
brought you good luck.
I need another cup.
That cup has been unlucky for a while.
All right, here we go.
Okay, where's the sugar? God knows I don't want to have to pay this check today, so... You ready? Is that a full house?
That is a full house. And I'm going to literally put my sugar down because
Okay.
I won
4 aces.
the
each
first
time.
round.
I can't believe it.
No, there'd be no
4
way it's
aces
4
each
aces.
time.
In the next light, 4 aces win. All right, so that's the first. Okay, what do you got, Will?
3.
Push.
I
There
don't
we
feel.
go.
I don't feel good about this.
You shouldn't feel
I
good
don't
about
feel
it.
good about it.
How about the 3 4s?
You
I
don't
only got
have
a
3
pair.
4.
I only got a pair of 4s.
Yeah. Pick them up.
Pick them up.
I want to get in the game.
Maybe next hand, Wilkes.
What do you got?
I got a pair of 5s. What do you got?
Nothing. Pick them up. Oh.
Next year I'll pick them up. I got 3 5s and you got to beat them. You got to beat them, otherwise you're stuck with the check. You're stuck with the checkbooks. That's not bad.
Special thanks to all our sponsors who help make Montage possible.
There are only 7 locations in the city of San Francisco where if you're homeless, you can go to take a shower. So we're looking at 16 to 20 shower stalls for the 3,500 people who actually live on the street. And that's untenable. And I just thought, if you can put gourmet food on wheels and take it anywhere, why not showers and toilets? I had seen an article in the Chronicle recently about the feds providing money to the city to replace these old diesel buses. And I just started thinking, I wonder what they're going to do with those buses. I want those buses. So we reached out to Muni and we found out that they have a donation program.
Recognizing the difficulties many San Franciscans face accessing a basic resource, this small organization aims to address the problem.
So we're transforming a passenger vehicle into essentially a bathing facility.
You want to see this sucked back tighter. Correct. And you want to see a cove.
Yeah. We brainstormed for several months how this could even be possible in a city like San Francisco, which is so ridden with permitting and regulatory hurdles. The actual bus we're using, it's a 1992 Gillig Phantom bus. It's an N Judah bus, which historically ran from all the way down through the Sunset.
To drive a bus like this and have big giant water tanks would completely destabilize it. So we, for example, will be drawing water from fire hydrants.
The biggest challenge, I think, was how to deal with all of the black water and gray water, which is generated from 2 showers running every half hour, 8 hours a day. It's a lot of water. You can see the shell of the bus, and then the 2 shower pods which are inserted inside the confines of the exterior wall.
Over and over again, people said, you are crazy and we love this idea and we will support you if you go out and get it done.
With an aim to get their mobile showers and toilets on the street as soon as possible, Sandoval and her colleagues believe their work will help San Francisco's homeless maintain a basic human right: access to water and sanitation.
My name's Chris Doherty. We're here at Airco Mechanical, Sacramento, California. We're in the mechanical room of the La Vie Mae bus. We have the engine here on this side of the wall. We have the mechanical room here, which is all the workings of the bus, and then we have the 2 bathrooms as we work forward on the bus. The biggest challenges in completing this is that nobody's ever done this before, so a lot just trial and error. So the unique thing about this particular plumbing system is that you would see this in a small commercial building or residential house, and we put this in the back of a minibus to run 2 full bathrooms. So this here we have a 50-gallon hot water heater. It's powered by propane, and this delivers all the hot water to our showers, our lavies, and our heating system. So the unique thing about this particular bathroom here is that we have skylights in here, we have a digitally controlled shower, we have hot and cold, and we're still on a bus.
It's just 2 units that have a shower, a sink, a toilet, and a small changing area. So it's the idea of, even though you're only going to be on the bus for 20 minutes or so, it's 20 minutes of complete privacy and respite to hopefully recharge yourself in a lot of ways. We decided that what we would do is partner with an existing nonprofit that's already serving the homeless that ultimately doesn't have showers and sanitation available to them. So we augment the services that they're offering, and we also benefit from their expertise and their wisdom about how to operate best in this realm. La Vie Mae is not about ending homelessness. What we are about is providing hygiene, because we believe that hygiene brings dignity, and dignity opens up opportunity.
Learn more about their efforts and how you can help at lavamay.org. Special thanks to all our sponsors who help make Montage possible. Athena Palumbi, chef, television personality, dancer, philanthropist, and mother. She's taken a fascinating path. Born into a large Greek and Italian family, food was often the focal point of her young life.
My early years were in Sacramento, California, and I was raised mostly by my grandmother, Martha. And she was also a chef, and I worked in the kitchen with her in the summertime. And we worked in an adult handicap school for people with special needs, and that was my first kitchen experience.
Although she never imagined herself picking up the saucepan and spices as her profession, we all know that's just what happened.
I worked as the executive chef at Andretti Winery in Napa Valley, and it was a wonderful experience working there. I was running the La Italia and Vigneto program for them, and I was doing private wine dinners on property by appointment only, and we would do 5 courses paired with all Andretti wines, and we'd also do a barrel tasting. And it was something that was monumental for me, because I think from the time that I started culinary school, it was my goal to become an executive chef in Napa Valley, and to accomplish that at 32 years old was a feat in itself, let alone being a woman in Napa. So it was very meaningful to me.
This beautiful and talented chef gained instant notoriety through her time on Cutthroat Kitchen and Chef Wanted.
Working on Cutthroat Kitchen was a very intense, amazing experience. Alton Brown was hilarious. We had an amazing time on set with him. And it's a lot of just, pressure. You never know what's going to come at you on the show, because you have sabotages coming, so it gets a little bit crazy in there at sometimes.
After some soul searching, she decided to hang up the apron for a bit and pursue her second love, dance.
As I went through my journey at Andretti Winery, dancing was always something that was a big part of my life, as was cheerleading. For many years, I was a competitive cheerleader, and I taught professionally for Universal Cheerleading Association. And I, by the suggestion of one of my friends, decided to try Latin ballroom. And after about a year of that, I made the decision that I was going to leave the winery and pursue it full time. So I made a big transition in my career and decided to take a leap of faith, and it panned out.
Quickly becoming as skilled on the dance floor as the kitchen, Palumbi has dedicated herself to the art of movement.
I just found myself at a point where there was an imbalance between dance and cooking, which I always had that before, where I'd have plenty of time to do my classes and take ballet and just get that creative recharge that you need as a chef. And it just got to a point where 18 hours a day in the kitchen wasn't cutting it for me, and I knew I wasn't going to be happy in the long term. So I had to do something different for myself and just take a break, and dance was where it was. My coach Daniele Gozzi retired 5th in the world as a professional a few years ago, and he has taken me under his wing. We have 2 Italians in this partnership, so it's really exciting for both of us to be on the floor together, and I couldn't ask for a better person to work with to mentor me and guide my entire career. And he sees the potential that I have, and he just wants to take it all the way. So we've started with the World Championship in the silver category. We're moving to closed gold this year, so we'll be competing at the Embassy World Championships in August. And then next year we will move to the Open A division. And then after that, the sky's the limit. He wants to see me turn professional someday, and I know he's the coach to do that for me. It's definitely very hot when you're in the ballroom practicing. Obviously it's Latin ballroom, so it's very energetic and sensual dancing, and it's very exciting. Just the music's wonderful. We always have great stuff going on, and I'm working with the best teachers in the world, and it's wonderful.
Not taking her meteoric success for granted, Palumbi has also dedicated herself to helping those in need.
My time is occupied now working on an amazing project with the Archdiocese of San Francisco called Soul Soup SF, and we are running a soup kitchen monthly for the homeless, but we also have a building project that's going on here, and we are putting in an urban garden. We've had a corporate donation from PG&E already of $20,000, and our hope is that in the next few years we will have a full working garden on property that will have seasonal ingredients, and it will be supplying the kitchen. And then I am donating all of my time as a chef to them to develop the menu and to guest chef at the kitchen as well.
Adding a dash of soul to the lives of those around her, Athena Palumbi has found her recipe for success.